सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः।
राधे गोपाल भजो राधे गोपाल, श्याम सुंदर मदन मोहन राधे गोपाल। राधे गोपाल भजो राधे गोपाल, मुरली मनोहर राधे गोपाल। राधे गोपाल भजो राधे गोपाल, मुरली मनोहर राधे गोपाल। राधे गोपाल भजो राधे गोपाल, शंख चक्र गदाधर राधे गोपाल। राधे गोपाल भजो राधे गोपाल, शंख चक्र गदाधर राधे गोपाल। राधे गोपाल भजो राधे गोपाल, पंढरीनाथा पांडुरंगा राधे गोपाल। राधे गोपाल भजो राधे गोपाल, पंढरीनाथा पांडुरंगा राधे गोपाल। राधे गोपाल भजो राधे गोपाल, नंद कुमारा नवनीत चोरा राधे गोपाल। राधे गोपाल भजो राधे गोपाल, नंद कुमारा नवनीत चोरा राधे गोपाल। राधे गोपाल भजो राधे गोपाल, श्याम सुंदर मदन मोहन राधे गोपाल। राधे गोपाल भजो राधे गोपाल, राधे गोपाल भजो राधे गोपाल। राधे गोपाल भजो राधे गोपाल। हरि ओम।
Yeah, one more. Kunta is not at settled. One more, please.
शरण। पांडुरंग विठ्ठले हरि नारायण, पुरंदर विठ्ठले हरि नारायण। पांडुरंग विठ्ठले हरि नारायण, पुरंदर विठ्ठले हरि नारायण। हरि नारायण भज नारायण, सत्यनारायण सत्यनारायण। हरि नारायण भज नारायण, सत्यनारायण सत्यनारायण। विठ्ठला हरि विठ्ठला, विठ्ठला हरि विठ्ठला। विठ्ठला हरि विठ्ठला, विठ्ठला हरि विठ्ठला। विठ्ठला हरि विठ्ठला, विठ्ठला हरि विठ्ठला। पांडुरंग विठ्ठले हरि नारायण, पुरंदर विठ्ठले हरि नारायण। हरि नारायण भज नारायण, सत्यनारायण सत्यनारायण। विठ्ठला हरि विठ्ठला, विठ्ठला हरि विठ्ठला। विठ्ठला हरि विठ्ठला, विठ्ठला हरि विठ्ठला। विठ्ठला हरि विठ्ठला। हरि ओम।
भव भय हरना वंदित चरणा रघुकुल भूषण राजीव लोचन रघुकुल भूषण राजीव लोचन आत्मा आनंद अच्युत केशव हरि नारायण आत्मा आनंद आदि नारायण अनंत शयना आदि नारायण अनंत शयना सच्चिदानंद श्री सत्यनारायण सच्चिदानंद श्री सत्यनारायण आत्मा राम आनंद रमणा अच्युत केशव हरि नारायण।
One more.
राधे गोविंदा मन भजले हर का प्यारा नाम है गोपाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है नंद लाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है जय नंद लाला जय गोपाला मोर मुकुट सर गल बनमाला केसर तिलक लगाए केसर तिलक लगाए वृंदावन में कुंज गलन में सबको नाच नचाए वृंदावन में कुंज गलन में सबको नाच नचाए श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है गोपाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है नंद लाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है गिरधर नागर कहती मीरा सूर को श्यामल भाया सूर को श्यामल भाया तुकाराम और नामदेव ने विठ्ठल विठ्ठल गाया तुकाराम और नामदेव ने विठ्ठल विठ्ठल गाया श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है गोपाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है नंद लाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है नरसी ने खड़ताल बजा के सावरिया को रिझाया सावरिया को रिझाया शबरी ने अपने हाथों से प्रभु को बेर खिलाया शबरी ने अपने हाथों से प्रभु को बेर खिलाया श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है गोपाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है नंद लाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है जय नंद लाला जय गोपाल राधा शक्ति बिना न कोई श्यामल दर्शन पाए श्यामल दर्शन पाए आराधन कर राधे राधे कान्हा भागे आए आराधन कर राधे राधे कान्हा भागे आए श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है गोपाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है नंद लाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है सिमरन का रस जिसको आया वो ही जाने मन में वो ही जाने मन में निराकार साकार हो तेरे भक्तों के आंगन में निराकार साकार हो तेरे भक्तों के आंगन में। श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है। गोपाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है। नंदलाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है। जय नंदलाला जय गोपाला। श्याम सलोना कुंज बिहारी नटवर लीलाधारी। नटवर लीलाधारी अंतरवासी हरि अविनाशी लगे शरण तिहारी। अंतरवासी हरि अविनाशी लागे शरण तिहारी। श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजले हरि का प्यारा। गोपाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है। नंदलाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है। यमुना किनारे धेनु चरावे माधव मदन मुरारी। माधव मदन मुरारी मधुर मुरलिया जब ही बजावे करले सुध बुध सारी। मधुर मुरलिया जब ही बजावे करले सुध बुध सारी। श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है। गोपाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है। नंदलाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है। जय नंदलाला जय गोपाल।
Yeah. सहनावतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचानूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मदत्तं। Yeah, last week I was attending a dance program that gave me some inspiration on this topic of the yajna. Bharatam means, correct me, madam, your subject, I am talking. Bharatam means bhavam, ragam, talam. Bhavam, ragam, talam. Only bhavam is there, it's okay, not bad, but it cannot become a performance. Only ragam is there, it cannot become a performance. Both are there, doesn't match talam. So there should be harmony between them. And when there is a harmony, it becomes a production, a performance. But the production and performance itself is for everybody's happiness. So that is the goal. So the goal of happiness, if you want to reach, there has to be harmony at every level. Right? At home. At home. Mother-in-law is able to adjust to Punita. Understand? There is harmony. If she is not able to adjust to Punita, understand? Apurva, there has to be harmony within ourselves. There has to be harmony between the body, mind, and intellect. So it is harmony that brings creative results, which leads us to our purpose of life and happiness. This harmony cannot come without each caring for the other. Bhavam, Ragam, Talam, each has to care for the other. At home, mother-in-law, Punita, Apurva, have to care for others, the body, mind, intellect. So, basis is others. You have to keep in mind and sacrifice your ego. Where ego rules, there is disharmony, there is sorrow, there is death. Because ego prevents you from experiencing the self that you are. So what you experience is death. So harmony, Yajna Bhava, reduces this, covers the intensity of these clouds and make you feel the presence of yourself. So Yajna Bhava leads to immortality, ego leads you to death. It's ironical, everybody wants to assert his ego. He doesn't know he's harming himself. He doesn't know that. Right? So, between knowledge and the experience, the tuning of the personality is very important. Between the knowledge and the experience, the tuning of the personality is very important. This tuning can come only when you have a goal other than the ego. That's the chariot example we saw in the third chapter. When you have a higher goal, all lower things automatically surrender their right. Even at home, where there is a big function, everybody work as a team. Not only big function, when there is a big challenge also, there is complete harmony. In between, they have nothing to do, only fight.
Right, correct.
Right? Either there should be a challenge or a cause. Right? So, you, for your own interest, all the time divert all your activity, physical, emotional, and intellectual activities towards the common good. Towards the common good, good of totality. That is called Yajna Bhava. You are not doing a favor to God. You are doing a favor to yourself. That's called Yajna Bhava. Right? So when you have the Yajna Bhava, what happens is the existing vasanas come to exhaust and you don't pick up new vasanas because it is the ego that picks up new vasanas. It's the ego that picks up new vasanas. So in course of time, vasanas become so thin, the experience of the self becomes clearer and clearer and clearer. You don't have to eradicate all vasanas and never try to do that. A lot of people believe I have to cleanse myself, eradicate vasanas. There again the ego is there. Divert your attention to a common cause, good cause. These things automatically will happen. Byproducts. Byproducts. Right? So now let us see the text. 19th we stopped. त्यक्त्वा कर्मफलासंगं नित्यतृप्तो निराश्रयः कर्मणि अभिप्रवृत्तोऽपि नैव किञ्चित् करोति सः. त्यक्त्वा कर्मफलासंगं नित्यतृप्तः निराश्रयः कर्मणि अभिप्रवृत्तः अपि न एव किञ्चित् करोति सः. Action is a must. But actions done for the ego produces reactions. Take away the security and peace for which you have acted. Action, there is no choice. But when it's done for the ego, it nullifies your own cause. It produces more and more clouds covering the self. It liberates when you do it in the Yajna Bhava. A man who does actions in the spirit of sacrifice for the good of the totality is not looking for personal gains. When you are looking for personal gains, you are all the time agitated. When you are not looking for personal gains, good of the totality, then you are all the time blissful. You are not depending on the results. Ever contented and satisfied. Such a man, because there is no ego, when he works, he doesn't produce results. It is the ego that makes the difference between sin and no sin. Doctor amputates. You pay him and say, thank you, you saved my life. A thief cuts off your hand. You punish him. Action is same. Action is same. A soldier kills, you give him Mahavir Chakra. A robber kills, he is put behind bars. Right? So it is not the action that makes the difference. It is the ego. So a man who has no ego, even though he is acting, is as good as not acting, because it is the Lord that is acting, because it is the Lord's work, Lord's cause, Lord's forms that you are serving. There is no ego. That's what it said. Tyaktva karma phala sangam, having renounced the attachments to karma phala sangam. See, Geeta, Veda Vyasa, every word is perfectly measured. He never said, Tyaktva karma phalam, leaving karma phala, because you cannot. Without karma phala, nobody works, even a saint. But karma phala asangam, sangam, attachment to results. Attachment to results. Tyaktva karma phala sangam. Nitya truptaha. Whatever comes, he is happy because he knows everything has a purpose. Everything has a purpose. Today, I forgot to put the heater. Put the shower, hot water didn't come. Right? Because I didn't put the heater. Every small thing he reminds me. This he didn't remind. So I immediately thought, there is some purpose. Either this is a therapy I need for my cold. You don't know him. Right? Or probably he wants to erase some of my prarabdha. You understand? So that's how a devotee looks at things. So Nitya Truptaha is ever happy, contented, because he sees the Lord in all. Nirashrayaha, not dependent on the results. Not dependent on the results. Karmani abhipravrittopi, though he is engaged in actions, naiva kinchit karoti saha, he doesn't do any actions because there is no ego. See, it comes in the 18th chapter. A man without ego, if he destroys the entire world, there is no sin. How is that? How does he destroy the entire? Supposing you are the president of America and your grandchild is playing. You have got the switch there, right? For the missiles and destruction of the world, everything is in your control because you don't want it to be controlled by others. switch. Your child accidentally fell on that. You have a lot of destruction. Which court punishes the child of 1 year, 2 years? Even juvenile law doesn't apply. Juvenile law also, when you are thinking, there is some intention. So, it is the motive that makes it a sin or no sin. Nirashihi yata chittatma tyakta sarva parigraha shariram kevalam karma kurvan apnoti kilbisham. See, do not read Geeta, that it will give you punya. It will give you punya. You will become Brahman. Nothing will happen. You are wasting your time. You must, next time, you put a TV here, silent mode, we'll watch cricket. Cricket is going on, wasting time in Geeta. What is it for? Right? So, each verse when you read, you must see what is its purpose, how does it benefit me. You are not favoring God. You are not favoring Vyasa. You are not favoring anybody. Geeta Parivar. No. You are only favoring yourself. You are only favoring yourself. So the previous verse said, if you are not attached to results, you will be happy. Now 2 more hints he is giving. Nirashihi yata chittatma tyakta sarva parigraha. Ashi, hope. Hope is always in future. Abandoning sense of possession. Possession is always related to past. Hope is in future. Right? Nirashi. Ashi is hope. Nirashihi, but striving. Yata chittatma, striving to perfect and striving to work also. Striving to integrate. Tyakta sarva parigraha, having renounced all sense of attachment. When you leave these two, past and future, there is no ego. Sir, please introduce me, yourself, without any reference to your past and future. Just introduce me. It should not have any reference to your past and future.
I'm Umesh.
Huh?
I'm Umesh.
That's a name given by your father in the past.
I am.
And it happened because you were born also. And it was given to you in the past by your father. I said, you should not connect to past or future. Introduce me to that. And name can be changed. That is not you. Name can be changed. And you have 3 names. Sankhya, Umesh, Venkat. So that, you have to be suspicious of somebody having 3 names. So introduce me without reference to past or future.
I'm listening to Geeta.
Huh?
I'm listening to Geeta.
That's not your introduction. I said, you introduce me to you. You are before me listening to Geeta. That I am seeing. That doesn't introduce you to me. I want to know you. Introduce me.
You're putting me on spot.
You can't. It is the past and the future that makes the ego. Cut off past and future, there is no ego. Cut off past and future, there is no ego. So, nirashi yata chittatma, tyakta sarva parigraha means renouncing the ego. we can lecture, renounce the ego. He doesn't know what is ego, how to renounce. So here 2 tips. Renounce the ego, just words. He doesn't understand. You have to say what it is, how it is. So your identification with the past or anxiety for the future is ego. Is ego. So leave the ego. First sloka, leave attachment to results. Here, leave the ego. Shariram kevalam karma kurvan mapnoti kilbisham. Merely doing actions physically, not intellectually or emotionally attached to that. This has to be done, he is doing. This has to be done, he is doing. Niyatam kuru karma, it has come. This minute, this has to be done, he is doing. He is not bothered what results it will produce. This minute, it has to be done. And when he is not connecting to future and past, when he is doing in the present, there is no mind. Mind is a flow of thoughts, either from past to future or future to past. There is no mind. He is just doing it by physically. That is what it says. Shariram kevalam karma kurvan napnoti kilbisham. Merely doing actions physically, he doesn't accumulate sins. Sins are vasanas. Why they are called sins? Because all vasanas, all sins give you sorrow. They make you dependent. They are responsible for your rebirth. That is why vasanas are called sins. Yadrucha labatantushtaha dvandvatito vimascharaha samassiddhavasiddhau cha krutvapi na nibajyate. Yadrucha labasantushtaha. Whatever he gets, he is happy. Suppose Maharaj used to wander in Himalayas. The areas he used to wander, especially those days, the areas he used to wander, especially those miles together, there won't be any habitation. Today, everywhere it is there. You go to Gangotri, Yamunotri, Badri, Kedar, all are towns. But in the days he used to go, and he used to go far above these areas where people say, don't go, he will go. Because he wants to surrender. You can't take a surrender without taking a risk. Right? So one day, the lunchtime has come, he is hungry. He was seeing how God is going to feed me today. You know, he's a man born with diamond spoon. Left all, come to Himalayas, live this sort of life. Diamond spoon, not even silver and gold. Whole fleet of buses in Kerala. Left everything. He didn't even carry 1,000 rupees. No, only train ticket, bus. Right? Ramana Bhagavan also did the same. Train ticket, the moment he came to Tiruvannamalai, whatever change was left, put it into the pond. Right? So, he was wondering how I am going to get. Some thieves came. They asked him to open his, no, but he doesn't carry purse. Dhoti probably, you know, whether he has kept something here or there. Nothing was there. Then they asked, we're not carrying food also, I don't carry. Then they gave some chapatis to him. He was wondering how God is going to feed me. Through the thieves, they gave chapatis. That's called yadrucha labasantushtaha. What you get accidentally, without expectations. That's called also ajagara vritti. Ajagara is python. Python doesn't go for food. It stays open mouth and somebody, it has to, it is programmed by God. This many years it has to live. Food will come to its mouth. You and I also have to trouble so many people. So to that much you have to live. You understand? They have to be troubled. Right? So, yadrucha labha santushtaha. Because these are all the causes of anxiety and sorrow. Gita is nothing supernatural about it. It's just a psychological treatise, but talking from a higher dimension. The psychologists only talk from symptoms, but these people talk from the higher level causes. That's the difference. So it is just how you can be happy and secure. These are all the causes of our sorrow. Dvandva tito, dvandva, duality, good and bad. Good and bad. Judgments. Right? Dvandva tito, vimascharaha, not envious. You try to be envious and be happy. You try to be greedy and be happy. You try to compare and be happy. Even gurus, that guru, my guru. You understand? You be happy. That's why beyond dualities, beyond envy, you must saraha. Samasiddhava siddhaucha. Same mind in achievement and failure, accomplishment and failure, success and failure. Na krutvapi na nibadyate. Such a man, even though he is acting, is not bound. What is bondage? To be dependent. He is not dependent. So, gatasangasya muktasya jnanavastita chetasaha yajnaya charatah karma samagram praviliyate. Gatasangasya, having left attachment to results, muktasya, free. The moment you have detached from results, you are liberated. Liberation is only expectation. Drop all expectations, you are liberated. You are liberated. I think I told this many times, even here. What is liberation? I was taking a class for somebody, first class, first sentence. That lady was so worried, such a big problem. She didn't want to call me also, though she knew for years, because she saw me to be an angry man. So what will I do with this man? At one stage, it was so much for her, she couldn't help calling me. And the very first sentence I started is, nothing in this world for which you have no value gives you sorrow. She got liberated instantly. This is my problem. I may expect my daughter-in-law to behave like this. She immediately realized it. Why? Her problem is that I talk. Why? Because I don't talk. Gurus talk. That's why if you have to have a guru, first thing you have to understand, guru can never do a mistake because guru doesn't speak. It is God that speaks through guru. Even if he had made a mistake, it has a purpose because he has surrendered to God. There may be a mistake, but it has a purpose. So, gata sangasya muktasya, leaving attachment and liberated, jnana avastita chetasaha, established in this wisdom, yajnaya charatah karma, one who acts in the spirit of yajna. Karma samagram praviliyate. All our vasanas are fused into your own self. karma samagram pravaliyate. So what is this yajna spirit? Next few stanzas. In all that, the primary thing is conscious activity is yajna. Because conscious activity is cut off from past and future in the present. Conscious activity. Even when you are going to shout at somebody, decide, I'm going to shout now. This man needs it. This man needs it. Right? Conscious activity, where there is no past and future, present activity. Veda Vyasa, out of compassion to us, the whole Vedas, which were talking about yajna rituals, right? Hota, Advaryu, then the Udgita, Brahmana, 4 Brahmanas sitting under the Kund. Each one is a name, Hota, Advaryu, Udgita, and Brahmana. So many complications. And you do a mistake, you are punished with Pratyavaya dosha. Veda Vyasa simplified the same yajnas for us in the simplest way, where you don't get after effects also. Mistake also doesn't matter. It's said in the 2nd chapter. Na pratyavayo na vidyate. Pratyavaya is a mistake. In the rituals, if you do a pratyavaya wrong thing, you will get pratyavaya. In Veda Vyasas, you don't get. So he simplified all. He says you don't have to, for yajna, do anything special. Whatever you are doing, do it in the spirit. So he is now going to explain the first. He summarizes in the very first verse, Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavihi, Brahmatnau, Brahmanahutam, Brahmaiva tena gantavyam, Brahma karma samadhina. When you chant this, you should give sapadu, but you have given earlier itself, and you are going to give last also. This is chanted before taking food. Why is this chanted? Gurudev says beautifully. Food is there, all items, tempting. You want to eat, so much lavish. Even at that time, a little control. Don't immediately gulp. Chant, think of Bhagavan, chant, and do. Not immediately gulp. In the olden days, not too old, in our period also, 40 years back, even in marriages, if food is served, we will wait to see the eldest or the respected person take food, and then only we take. After everybody is served, after everybody, now today, no. Before he begins the second item, first item is gone. Right? So, Brahmarpanam, the food that you take, offer it to him. In the fire of Brahman, here inside, the fire itself is Brahman. Brahmagno, Brahmanahutam, you are able to offer because of Brahman, the life here. Brahmaiva tena gantavyam. Ultimately, it reaches life to sustain, and that is Brahma. And thus, all your actions in everything have the vision of Brahman. Vision of Brahman. Whatever you do. Then next, Daivameva pare yagnam yoginah paryupasate brahmagna ava pare yagnam yagnenaivo pajikvati. Yagnas are broadly classified things that are offered to God and then that are offered to Brahman. Right? In yagnas that are offered to God, you get results. Brihadaranyaka elaborately deals. You get the results. In the yagnas that are done for Brahman, you sacrifice yourself. The ego is sacrificed. Other things, you sacrifice everything for gods. Here, you sacrifice yourself to yourself. Ego is gone. You become God. As long as you are doing for devas, you have to do every day, and they will give you every day. But when the ego is gone, what you have to do? No haves and no have-nots. No do's and no don'ts. Daivameva pare yagnam yoginaha parupasate brahmagnav pare yagnam yagne naiva upajuhvate. So, two types. One is Brahmagni, another is Daiva Yajna, Deva Yajna, Brahma Yajna. And then I told you, every action of yours, you have the attitude of a spectator. A spectator, no ego. Right? So here, Srotradin Indriyani Anye Samyagnashu Jukwati, Shabdadin Vishayan Anye Indriyagnashu Jukwati. So recently, these posts, Gurudev post, one of the posts. So there's so much of disturbance, so much sound and all that. What's my problem? Everybody is putting music, it reaches my tympanium, it goes back. I have nothing to do. I am only a spectator. There are so many jokes like this. One man said, I believe your wife insulted you today. Said, no. I believe she called you names. Yes. I believe she threw you out of the house. Yes. I believe she threw you out of everything out of the house. Yes. But she did not insult me. You understand? These are all what she has to do, she has done. But I didn't feel insulted. I didn't feel insulted. So, Srotradini Indriyagye Samyamagnishu Juhvati. So, sounds, etc. in the Indriyas, fire in the Indriyas, you offer. When sounds come, you offer them to the ears. There is fire everywhere. There is life everywhere. Otherwise, you can't receive. So, in the first thing, Samyamagnishu, you offer them in self-control. In self-control. In the second thing, offer the sounds into their own holes. You read Gurudev's commentary. First is called sense control, self-control, Dhamma. Next is called Shama, mind control. There are two controls. Control at the physical level, control at the mental level. You understand? You are going in Anna Nagar second main road. So many shops. First time I am changing my example. I used to say Pandi Bazaar. Right? Anna Nagar, second avenue. So many shops. There are three types of people. Every shop they will enter whether they buy or not. Second man sees and goes. Somebody asked Socrates, every day you are walking in this Pandi Bazaar, seeing things, you don't buy anything. Why are you doing everything? I am only seeing how many things I don't want. You understand? That is the second type. Third type, it doesn't occur to him at all. He just goes, his job he does, it doesn't occur all these attractions to him. He has no value. So, first is physical restraint. Second is mental restraint. Physical restraint is called Dhamma. Mental is called Shama. Sarvani indriya karmani, prana karmani chapare, atma samyama yogagnau juhvati gnanadi dipate. Sarva indriya karmani, all sense actions. Prana karmani, also the physiological functions. Prana karma is not breathing. Prana, apana, vyana, samana, udana. These are the 5 different karmas done by the Mukhya Prana. Done by the all actions of the various pranas and all actions of the senses. Everything put together. Earlier he said a part. Atma samyama yoga gnau juhvati gnana dipate. Kindled by the fire of knowledge. Kindled by the fire of knowledge. He offers all of them into self-control. Atma samyama yoga gnau. And now he enumerates broad classifications of the different yajnas. Dravya yajna, tapo yajna, yoga yajna, tathapare. Swadhyaya gnana yajnascha yataya samsita vrataha. Dravya yajna, material yajnas, where there's a lot of material things you do also, or you give charity, in the yajna bhava, dravya yajna, tapo yajna, austerities for the sake of trying to withdraw from the senses and feel the presence of the Lord. Tapo yajna, yoga yajna. Yoga, like prana, I said, it's not breathing, it's 5. So yoga also, basically today it has been associated only with asanas. But yoga is, asanas are also there, but above that, any process which helps you to integrate the mind intellect is called a yoga. Yoga yajna tata apare, the others, swadhyaya, reading yourself every day, swadhyaya, gnana yajnascha, trying to discuss, talk, listen. All this is gnana yajna. Gnana yajna has 3 ingredients, Sravana, Manana and Nididhyasana. I didn't know that there is a subject like that. To come to know that. Who? Somebody called. You see, it's in your mobile.
Somebody's on the mic. Request them to.
Who? Nobody. Okay. Next time you are coming early, he's also coming. You check up how to give entry to everybody. He will know. Right?
Uncle, I also know this. Actually, we are using Hitesh
Huh?
Ji's. We are using Hitesh Ji's ID.
No, that after they come. But there are people who are not able to come, asking your permission to enter. The list that you have is after they come.
We have a setting which we can do before itself. So that setting is set as we have to admit like that.
So dravya yajna, tapo yajna, yoga yajna, tatapare, swadhyaya gnana yajna, gnana, sravana, manana, nididhyasana. I don't know is removed by listening. I don't understand, removed by reflection. I don't experience, removed by meditation. Nididhyasana. Sravana, manana, nididhyasana. Right? So these are the various types of yajnas people are following. Apane juhvati pranam, prane panam tathapare, prana apana gati ruddhva pranayama parayanaha. This prana is breathing. Apane juhvati pranam. In the exhaling, you offer the inhaling. You offer the inhaling. In the inhaling, you offer the exhaling because they meet. They meet. You be conscious. That's all. You don't have to do anything. You just be conscious. Breathing also. Be conscious. Pranapana gati rudva. Thus restraining the pranas. Conscious breathing. Conscious breathing. Pranayama parayanaha. People who are absorbed in the restraint of breath. Earlier prana is the functions. Here it is breathing. Apare netaharaha pranan praneshu dukhvati sarvepyete yajnavidaha yagnachapita kalmashaha. Apare, others, netaharaha, with discipline in eating. Right? Neta ahara. Ahara is not only food for belly, ahara to the eyes, ahara to the ears. All your feeding, the senses and the belly, controlling. Right? Apare neta ahara. Pranan praneshu dukhvati. These various functions are offered into the Mukhya Prana. Sarvepyete yajna vidaha yajna chapita kalmasha. All these different yajna people, they all have known what is yajna, and through that they have been purified by eradicating their vasana, chapita kalmashaha. And what is the benefit of this yajna? Yajna shishtamrita bhujaha yanti brahma sanatanam nayam lokaha Nayam lokaha asti ayagnasya kutonyaha kurusattama. People who eat the remnants of yajna, they reach Brahman. Na ayam lokaha. For the people who don't do in the spirit of sacrifice, they don't get the benefits even in this loka. Therefore, where is the question of talking about other lokas? Kutonyaha kurusattama. Only through sacrifice any creative activity is done. Right? Apurva comes, there was a big fight in the office, and now he comes, it's his class, he loses his temper. What all this class and all that? You can't do. He has to cooperate. Neighbors have to cooperate. Your own body, mind, intellect, they all have to cooperate. You want to listen, but body, pain here, pain there, you can't listen. Without the yajna bhava, there is no creative, productive activity. Right? And if this is necessary for this, what to talk about the other words? And a man who doesn't do in the yajna bhava, he won't even enjoy here. He will not enjoy the other world. In the queue, you fight for your place. Everybody fights and throw you out. You just say there, pahle aap. Everybody will say, pahle aap, pahle aap. You know, it's a simple trick. Right? Everybody will say, pahle aap, pahle aap. You get here and hereafter. That is called eating the remnants of yajna. That is, when you have lived your life in the spirit of sacrifice, whatever you get for your sustenance, that you take. That you take. And he now says, Yevam bahuvida yajna vitata brahmano mukhe karmajan vidhi tam sarvan yevam nyatva vimokshase. So far he praised yajnas and karmas so much. Now he is bundling all of them and putting them into the waste paper basket. He says, Evam bahuvida yajna vitata brahmano mukhe. This spread of so many yajnas are spread before the face or mouth of the Brahma. Mouth of Brahma means they are all mentioned in the Vedas. Brahma is Veda. That's why Chaturmukha. That's why Chaturmukha, 4 Vedas. They are all mentioned in the Vedas. They are all in the Vedas. That's what it means. Spread of in before the face of Brahma. Understand all of them to be born out of karma. Karmajan vidhi. Tan sarvan natva vimokshase. Knowing this, you will be liberated from depending even on yajnas. Dynamic activity, selfish doesn't matter. Then yajna bhava, then you should renounce even that. Even that. Nothing matters. Class is there, good. Class is there, not. No, they are not there, better. Gurudev once, I practically saw, whenever he comes from the airport, evening yajna, he goes to the yajna shala, sees, and then only goes. He came there, yajna shala. It was drizzling. People were saying, Swamiji is drizzling, there may be rain. He comes all the way from so many places, sometimes foreign also. There's so much planning for the yajna. Somebody said this, so what? There will be drizzling, so what? There is no yajna, so what? You understand? So what? I was there, first-hand information. So what? Evam beheda yajna vitato brahmano mukhe karmajan vidhi tan sarvan evam natva vimokshase. You are liberated. You are bound or you are liberated not by anything outside but by your own mind. What sort of mind binds? Egoistic mind. What sort of mind liberates? A mind that lives for others. Somebody asked Gurudev in Hyderabad, I was again there sitting. They asked Gurudev, these books and all too much. Can you give me just shortest essence of that? He says, Paropakarardham idam seiram. Live for others. That's the end of it. Live for others. Sreyan dravyamayat yajnaha. Sreyan dravyamayat yajnaha. Sreyan dravyamayat yajnaha. Gnana yajnaha. Sreyan dravyamayat yajnaha. Gnana yajnaha. That is, gnana yajna is superior to the yajna done with materials. Right? Sreyat Sreyat Dravyamayat yajnaha Gnana yajnaha. Gnana yajna is superior to yajnas done with lot of materials. Parantapa sarvam karma akhilam partha gnane parisamapyate. All these ultimately find fulfillment only in knowledge. Yajnas are only means to purify. They are not an end. Only through this purification and yajnas you get the knowledge. It has its reward. Therefore, he says, Gnane parisamapyate. They find their fulfillment in jnana. And you should get that jnana. How to get it? Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshanti te gnanam jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. Tadvidhi. That knowledge, understand. Pranipatena, prostrating. It's a nuisance to teachers. Nobody likes. But then why he said here? Surrendering your mind is called prostrating. Surrendering your mind. Pariprasnena, continuous questioning. There are some people who fall in love with their question. I asked this to Mahaparival also. He couldn't also answer. The day you answer, his identity has gone. If you answer, his identity has gone. You understand? So that is not pariprashna. Wherever pari, pra is used, it is from the highest standpoint. Pari and pra. Pariprasnena. Right? Asking with the intention of learning. Pariprasnena. Continuously asking. You said this last time. Right? You say you are now saying this. Both seems to be there. Arjuna also asked, differ. How am I to understand? You understand? Upadechanti te jnanam jnaninaha tattvadarshanaha. See, the student's attitude, it said, pranipatena, surrendering, pariprasnena, teacher, what he should be. Jnaninaha tattvadarshanaha. He should, if he has to be a teacher, he should be erudite and he should be established in the self. Mere erudition without experience is useless. Only head bloats. You have the experience, but you don't have Shastra knowledge. You are good sannyasi, but you cannot be a teacher. You cannot be a teacher. And then what is the benefit of this knowledge? Yagnatva na punarmoham yes yasyasi pandava yena bhutani aseshena drakshasi atmani atomai. Having got this knowledge, you won't be again deluded like this. What is again deluded? You were deluded, I am going to kill, they are going to be killed. Arjuna, he's only addressing, I am going to kill. This duality, this deha sambhava will not be there. I am the cause, I am the doer and the enjoyer, right? Yena bhutani aseshena, through this knowledge, you see all beings in you and in me too. All beings in you and in me too. That means you and I are the same. Apichedasi papebhyaha sarvebhyaha papakrutamaha sarvam jnanaplavenaiva rujinam santarishyasi. You may be noble laureate in sinology, right? With this knowledge, all your sins are washed off. I have murdered 1,000 murders in my dream. After waking up, who can punish you? Even if you go and say in the police station, they can't punish you. So, all those so-called sins belong to the ego. When you wake up to that knowledge, all the sins are written off. Yetaidansa samuddhognihi basmasat kurute arjuna jnanagnihi sarvakarmani basmasat kurute tada. Just as fire reduces everything. You put a Veda book or a pornography, it burns. Just like that, this Jnana-Agni burns all your punya karmas and papa karmas. Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram he vidyate tatsvayam yoga samsiddha kalena atmani vidyate. There is nothing superior in purifying because all other purifications are only part. Jnana completely purifies because the ego is gone. Therefore, nothing equivalent to that. Tatsvayam yoga samsiddhika. But you want to get that, you must be integrated. You don't say, why you talked all yajnas and then say it's all useless? He says, yes, they are all means. And therefore I said knowledge. But you must now remember that knowledge you can only get only one who has integrated his mind and intellect through yajna bhava. Kalen atmani vindati. In due course, he will experience this. Who will get this jnana? Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatparaha samyatendriyaha jnanam labdha param shantim achirena adhigacchati. One who has shraddha. One who has shraddha. So what is shraddha? Gurudev quoted, I think it's Rabindranath Tagore's, to believe in what you do not know, so that you may come to know what you believe in. You don't know something, but you believe and try to reason it out and you will experience. That's called Shraddha. If you sit before the Guru, you talk, let me see, you won't understand. You should have the submission. That's called Shraddha. Guru Vakyasya Shastrasya Satya Buddhi Avadarana. Vivek Chudamani. To have belief, the teacher's word and Shastras can never lie. Satya Buddhi Avadarana, they all speak truth. That Shraddha you must have. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatparaha samyatendriyaha jnanam labdhva param shantim achirena adhigacchati. What is the use of this knowledge? Having got this in a short time, you will get the complete param shanti. Shanti, you were worried about something. there was a solution, Shanti. That's not Param Shanti. Param Shanti, supreme peace, is once you get that, there is no more going down. Param Shanti Madhigachati. You get this knowledge, you will get that Param Shanti. And he says, Agnascha, Asraddhadanascha, Samshayatma Vinashyati. Nayam lokosti naparaha nakam sukham samshayatmana. Why Shraddha? If you don't have Shraddha and you are ignorant, such a man, Vinashyati, is destroyed beyond repair. Nayam lokaha. For such a man, even this world is of no use. He doesn't get anything without faith. If I don't have the faith, I will be able to walk up to the car. I won't even move from here. Only if I have faith, I can go. Even for this world, whatever you do, you should have the faith. I'm going to invest. Maybe I'll die tomorrow. You won't do anything. You should have the faith. Okay, I will live. Right? So, Nayam lokosti naparaha nasukam sanshayatmana. He has never comfort. Sleep. Right? Every half an hour, get up and check up your money. Where is comfort? AC room. No comfort. You understand? Therefore, Tasmad Ajnana Sambhutam Rustam Jnanasinatmanah Chitvainam Samshayam Yogamatisto Bharata. Therefore, Arjuna, this doubt that you have, they are going to be killed, I am going to be the killer. This doubt, cut it asunder with this sword of knowledge. And for that, you have to integrate. Therefore, take to yoga immediately. You have to integrate for this knowledge, take to yoga immediately.
41.
Huh?
41 shloka.
Yoga sanyasta karmanam, jnana sanchinna samshayam, atmavantam na karmane nibadnam tidananjaya. Through yoga, through integrated mind, one who has lost all his doubts, and sanyasta karmani, doership and enjoyership. Doership and enjoyership. Renouncing jnana sanchinna nashayam. Through knowledge, all doubts are cleared. Atmavantam, established in the self. Na karmani nibadnamti. These karmas cannot bind. Tasmad ajnana sambhutam rustam jnanasinatmana chitvainam yogam atishto tishta bharata. Therefore, Arjuna, cutting asunder all your doubts, just get established in yoga. You see the trick. That's Krishna. He elaborated yoga and yajna, said all useless. Now finally he says, take to yoga. That Arjuna asks the question next week. Same question he will ask and we'll see the answer. Right? Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamavaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you.
ॐ श्री